Hello, good afternoon. This is Cheryl Lentz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, talking to you on Tuesday at 2. So I have a fun card to show with you, a fun set. I fell in love with this set right away. It's called Grace's Garden. It's in the mini catalog, and I'm so pleased to say that it is going to be in our next annual catalog. So hooray. I have not played with it that much. I used it, I made one card, which I'll show you today. The first card I made with it, and then shortly after that it was sold out. Hello, Chris. Hi, if Cindy's on, hi Cindy. Love you guys, thank you for coming. I quit, I didn't press on it because people couldn't get it, but now you can. So, see, good afternoon, ladies. Now you can get it. So I thought, oh, good, and it's going to be back. So I'm so excited to show you this beautiful, beautiful set. I don't know the story behind it. A lot of times at Stampin' Up! When we go to different events, like they'll tell you the story behind the stamp sets. In my mind, I made up a story. My story is that Grace was somebody's Grandma Grace, and she had a beautiful country English garden and all these beautiful old-fashioned flowers and delphiniums and beautiful things, and you know, there's always a cat running around the garden. And so, hi Lenore. All right, I'm glad you made it back to watch. You're gonna like this, Lenore. Lenore lived next door, and she had some beautiful flowers. So yeah, we did a lot of gardening and different things, shopping for bushes and different things when we all built at the same time. And so anyhow, I'm going to show you this beautiful card. It's a fun fold card. I don't go on to Pinterest to look for ideas. I often go on Pinterest to look for card sketches or fun folds, just because you have something to start with. And I like sketches that are only in the black and white, you know, in gray tones, so that you don't get a color in your mind and you kind of have to do that exact thing. So that's when I'm kind of looking for something to do and figuring things out, that's my go-to spot. So this morning, I knew I was going to do Grace's Garden. I had to make a card to show you. And so I went on to, for fun folds, onto Pinterest for fun folds. And I found a fun fold that was put on there by a wonderful Stampin' Up! Demonstrator by the name of Connie Stewart. She has great things, and one of the, you know, more famous people. I'm not famous at all. I'm just sitting here talking to y'all, but we're having fun. Anyhow, hi Joan. So she had this cool fold, and I thought I'm going to incorporate my Grace's Garden into that fold. So with all that said and done, and we have some folks on, yay, thank you for joining me, y'all. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you first in the catalog the layout for Grace's Garden, and then we'll talk about the dies and the set. So here we go. I'm going to turn this around. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. I'm okay with where I'm at. I had to do I did a video for Wisconsin Parkinson's Association last week, and it was kind of interesting, and so that was on. So here we go. It's on page 13 of the mini catalog, and I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. And I can mute it, so then I can maybe watch while you guys are... Okay, so here is the beautiful stamp set. Remember, anything that is grayed means that there is a die to go with it. So the dies, there are 19 dies in this set. And a couple of things I want to show you that I think are really neat, I love when Stampin' Up! Does this, is that so they have the garden gate, right? Here it is, opening. But they also have all these tiny little dies. So 4 little like daisies, 3 of the roses, 2 different leaf branches, you know, in addition to the ones that are gray here. So this is a really nice set of dies. Here's the stamp set. Ta-da, ta-da. Okay, and now, without further ado, let me show you this cool card. Thank you, Connie Stewart, for giving me the inspiration to do this card. So here it is. Let me reach across here. Ta-da! So here it is, and it's a fun fold, and it opens like this. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? What do you think? Is it kind of cool? That's my fun fold. I did use one other set of dies. I used this Be Mine stitched framelits because I needed hearts. So this is going to follow through too in the next catalog. So if you ever need anything with hearts, here you go. You run this through and you're set. You've got a bunch of hearts. They all cut out, and then you have a nice frame of hearts too. But I often use this set to get the hearts. So this is the card that we're going to make today. So there's a little bit of brayering, and I must tell you, I had it all done, but I didn't have this bow on. And it looked so naked, and I put like jewels on and rhinestones on and did a couple of things, just did not do it. But the bow framed it, and I wanted it kind of wrinkled and crinkled, so I did that with my glue dots. But I thought that kind of just set it off. So there we go. There's our fun fold. Super simple. I will put this with the directions, with the dimensions of everything on my blog, hopefully this afternoon. So here we go. Let's get started. Let's get started. Should we get this party started? I'm going to put this off to the side. There we go. And then here are my pieces. So I'm going to first go ahead and stamp my flowers that I'm going to be coloring and cutting out. So I put those on heavy cardstock, and I put the flowers on heavy cardstock and this frame. I just thought, because it's going to kind of be floating out here, all these pieces are in heavy white. This main piece is not, but all my cutout pieces are in heavy white, just because I thought it would make it sturdier. So there we go. Okay. So this is where my flowers are going to be stamped, and I'm going to use Memento ink because I'm using our blends today. So first of all, I stamped the flowers. The first flowers I did in red, and they were beautiful in cherry cobbler, but I wanted to have that red heart on there, and it didn't stand out enough. So the roses then turned to yellow roses. And then to bring more yellow in, I had to have a yellow cat. So that's how that went. That's how my thought process went on that stuff. Here we go. Here's I love these delphiniums. They're so pretty. So much fun. Okay, so that's my stamping for that one. For those, I'll stamp my little cat, might as well, because I can cut him out right away too. So I used crushed curry for the cat. I could have used white and then, colored them in, but I thought this is the faster way. I just used the crushed curry, and then I did use a blend to kind of put some shading on him after I have him, before I did that. So these pieces, let's see here. Let's go ahead and color. We're going to color today. So I have, for the roses, I had dark So Saffron, and for the leaves, I used a dark shaded spruce. My delphiniums, I think that's what they are light Highland Heather, and that's the only color on these for the outside of the card. So we'll go ahead, and I'm going to use the pointy end here and color my roses. The roses have a die, and I used that die. I did cut like the ends off just a little bit, just because I wanted it to fit on my garden gate. So it was just a little tiny bit I needed to cut off to make that work. So that's what I did. Okay, so there's my roses are done. Let's get these all color really fast because they're just like little circles, little dots here and there. So I just went with the circles. I didn't go light and dark. I didn't do any shading. I just did it fast and easy. I thought that would be the best for today. I couldn't believe I was running out of time. I got up later, and I was up late last night, and I just ran out of time, but I got this one done, and I thought, this is worth it. You guys will like this, and it's simple. I think to have a fun fold and have it be simple, duplicatable without, you know, much stress, undue stress, works. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I did. I always wanted to have a garden like this, except that it's a lot of work. An English garden, right, where all these things are all grown up and they're really close to each other, and oh, it looks so beautiful on those Victorian homes when they have all the beautiful flower beds around them. And yeah, that would mean I'd have to go outside, and it would mean that I would have to like weed. So that's probably not going to be happening in the near future. I like it down here. So now I'm going to go with I use the dark shaded spruce, and I'm just kind of, you know, it can go really fast, these little leaves. You don't have to take a whole lot of time. It's just kind of a little flick of the wrist here. And we're going to get all our leaves done. And up here too, we've got some leaves up here. There we go. Here and there. I don't know if that was a leaf or and it doesn't matter. I think these have bigger leaves. They're kind of a different shape leaf on these delphiniums. So anyhow, that's the story. I'm sticking to it. Here we go. I'm going to go like this. We're going to do a little brayering on this card too. So on the front of the card, the base of the card is made with balmy blue, but I needed to brayer on it. I needed to add some color. I didn't want it just kind of plain, and so I ended up brayering it, and then I brayered it a little extra on the top and the bottom. There. Okay, there's our, I didn't do the stems and all that good stuff. You can kind of, and then with our little cat, I just went here and added right on top, just added a few little lines here, back and forth along his ear. Just kind of outlined him a little bit to give him some definition. Okay, there's that. I did use Wink of Stella on the flowers for Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. But I ended up not, I put it on afterwards. That's what I'm trying to say. I put it on afterwards. Okay, let's go ahead and cut these pieces out. I'm going to bring my Big Shot over here right now, right like that. Is that, can you see that? So I have this on my, hello Mary Catherine. I have this on my computer right next to me, but it's delayed. So if you're talking, I don't know, it's not showing any comments or anything, so I don't know. All right, so here are my flowers. Here's my little cat. Here are my dies. So these flowers, I'm going to put this one here. And I'm so excited, you guys. So we got to see the new catalog, right? We got to see our new cutting machine, which we can't get right away, but it will be available eventually. And you know how this one, the magnets are like, the magnets are all over, but here and there. So when you put this on and it moves, the metal die is just looking for a magnet. So sometimes I would say move your paper towards the magnet, towards the direction it's moving in, right? And sometimes we had to use washi tape, especially when it was some little tiny things. But the new one, it looks like it's a flat sheet that's magnetic all over. So I think y'all are going to be happy with that. I am going to be happy with that, so I don't have to chase my dies around when they move like that. I mean, we've adjusted to it, right? That's what we had, and that's what we used. But if they, you know, like Stampin' Up! Does, we're going to find a solution and make it better for us. So I think that's what they did. Okay, so there's one pass through. Let's get our little cat out of here. Look at how they just fall out. I love these new dies. They're so phenomenal. Okay, now we're going to take this flower off. I need to use my pickup tool to, there we go. And then we have one more to cut. This one is just going to fall right out of here. And there's my roses for my gate. And now we're done with the roses. Now I'm going to turn this way, put this on because I have some other things to cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my gate. And somewhere I have a piece of paper. Here we go, heavy white. So I use the thick white. Okay, there. And just put that on like that. We have a little bit of cutting out, and then we're gonna create. You're gonna be so surprised how easy and fast it is. So here's this. Okay, now my flowers are all cut out. Happy to say. And put that over there. Put my die over here so I don't lose it. Look at this. It just falls right out. I just love these new dies. I can't tell you. I don't know how they're doing them, but everything just falls right out. So all those little pieces, no more, you know, we had so much, and I just did this with one pass, and this is thick white. So they are great dies. Really, really nice. So there's one, okay. There's my garden gate. And then I'm going to use this one because I want my background, I want it to be white because I was going to brayer it. Originally it was the blue piece that I cut out of the front of the card, and I decided that's not what I wanted. I wanted a little more definition, and so we're doing some ombre brayering. Chris, it'll work. It'll work. There's my other piece there. Chris doesn't always like to do the ombre, but we will get it to work, I promise you. So what I need here is the front of the card. There. And I am going to take my garden gate here, and I'm going to cut this out. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I have this background, but that's just, it goes along the back of this piece. You can see it's not as big, right? And there's all these little notches here. So that is what fits in here, all the little notches, so that you can place your insert perfectly. So hopefully I have this straight. Does it look straight, you guys? There we go. Hopefully I have it straight. Okay, I'm going to cut this out. Is it straight? I hope so. I hope it is. All right. There we go. Okay. And again, so now I'm going to have, there's my little cutout. I'm going to have this blue piece, and I have two of them now because I have one from my sample. And on Friday, I'm going to have to do something with these. So tune back in on Friday when I do my follow-up Friday. I kind of try to use the pieces I left on the table from today. So I think that's all my cutting. I think, is it? Yes, I think so. Okay, let's move that to the side. Straighten up. I'm so messy. I hate that I keep moving this on you guys. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, here's my lovely dies. And I'm going to put those back over here. So you have this big piece, which I think looks like a monster or something. I think you could put big eyes on here and have it be a little creature. But extra paper to use, so that'll go with my follow-up Friday paper. So this is the piece I have. Here's my little kitty trying to escape here. And then this piece here. Now, when you cut it out, it has these two little notches, which I just cut away, because I'm not going to worry about filling that in there. So I just cut the notches away. And I could have done this before, but I'll tell you what, this was an afterthought, and this is what I did. It doesn't matter here. Your white piece of cardstock is going to go in here like this. Okay? And then your garden gate is going to go in here and glue in with this behind it. But before we do all that, we have to do a little bit of brayering. So I wanted to brayer the bottom a little bit. Let's do the blue first because that's lighter. Okay, so this piece is behind my garden gate, and that is brayered. So I started with balmy blue. Everything I do sideways. I don't know why. Do y'all do that? Do you have a certain direction? I can't just be straight on. So when you use, we have these great brayers with replaceable foam. You can wash them, replace them. I have mine, just happened, I must use balmy blue a lot, so I have one that has balmy blue. You go in one direction when you're loading up your ink. In one direction, you want that ink to go all the way around your brayer. If you're going like this, you're only getting ink on this side. So that is a big rule, okay? And then when you start out brayering, I'm holding the piece here. I want it a little bit darker at the top and then to go lighter. You're gonna hold this in place, start off of your piece, and just keep moving. And that's the key, is just to keep moving. So I'm gonna load some more ink on here. I want it a little bit darker on the top and lighter on the bottom, so I kind of let off and I don't do as much there. And one more time. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, that's my piece behind my gate. Now I decided I wanted to have this, it looked too plain. So of course I had to brayer this one too. It doesn't matter if I get it in the cutout because we are going to be covering that up. So I'm starting the same way, I'm just kind of going down. I wanted it a little bit darker at the top and then lighter. So you can brayer and put color on color. You know, usually we're doing this on white, but look at, it looks kind of cool. It makes it look more like a sky. Okay, let's close this up. Close it or wear it. And then I wanted to have a little bit, I needed some green here. So here I am with my shaded spruce, one of my favorite greens. And again, I'm loading my brayer with going in one direction, okay? And I'm just gonna go along here. And on this one, I'm not going up very far, but I wanted it a little bit darker to make it look a little bit different from the blue, right? There we go. There. Then I make a messy background. But you could cut things out and make some cool stuff with the background. So there we go. You can see the difference, right? Because of, when you see the inside, this is the original color. That's kind of pretty. There we go. So that's my little trick there. And then to build this, and my little garden gate here is all in white. This piece has to go on here. However, I said that this piece is smaller than our gate, right? So what I did is I'm going to put this on here. I need to stamp words. So I'm going to just kind of set it on here. I'm not going to glue it on yet, but I'm going to put it where it needs to go. I'm just kind of centering it on the bottom, along the bottom line edge. And then I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to pray that I get the words right. Because otherwise, you know what happens? You have to start over. So I did have to start over. I got my words crooked, and so I started over. I did. That was not my thing. I usually don't like to do that. Okay, so I'm going to stand up because I don't want to have to do it over with you guys. There we go. Just give it a good press, and I'm using my memento. So there we have it. Now, to glue that together, I'm happy to say we're going to have some different sheets for adhesive sheets again in the new catalog, but for right now I don't have that. And I am just going to go with my green glue, my glue of choice. Here we go. And I'm just going to kind of spot it around. So I'm going right along this inside edge here because I know that this piece doesn't go all the way up to the top, but I want it glued on the edge. So there we go. Okay, there. All right, now I'm just going to set that down, and I'm going to line it up this way. It's easier than trying the other way. So I know that when I stamped it, I had it even with this bottom edge of my gate and kind of centered between the two posts here. So there we go. Ta-da! Simple. Easy peasy. Okay. So I have my flowers here that are going to go on my gate. And when I did the red ones, I cut them in half, and I thought there's got to be a way. So this pretty much fits. It's just a little bit too long because of having it open like that. So I just cut this last little bud off. Sorry, little flower bud. There we go. I cut that off. And then I cut this stem off a little bit here, just to make it a little bit shorter. I just wanted it a little bit shorter so that it fit on here. Okay, this one I'm going to trim just a little more. You don't want it any wider than the gate because it's got to fit in that hole, and then it's got to open up. So you have to make sure that you get this so that it fits through the gate, through the opening that we have here. So just like that. Ta-da! That works. It's a perfect fit. That's all you have to cut off. So on this one, I just used my green glue again, a little here and there. Put this on here. Oops, go up there. Okay, there. And then I did put the heart on with a dimensional. So I used my mini dimensionals here. I used my pickup tool. So picked up my little heart. Let's see here. I'm going to just, here, put this on. I'm moving everything around. There we go. And pull the cover off. Woo! It went flying. Okay. I'm going to pick it up with the pointer so I can point it right to the center of the tip of the heart, to the center of my gate. So I know that I have it on there right. Okay, there. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da. There we go. Okay. Now, these are going to be glued onto the sides, but when I looked at this, I was like, there's something wrong with this picture. These are so stark white at the bottom. I didn't like that. So I brought in my little brayer again. There's enough ink on here, and I just kind of brayered the edges here a little bit. Kind of went back and forth just to dirty them up just a little bit, because it was, I guess I need a little more ink here. I didn't like that bright stark white. I wanted it to kind of look nice, so I'm just kind of picking up some ink on the one edge, and I'm going to go over the bottom of my flower pieces here. Come back here. There we go. It's those little things that make a big difference, and that would bother me. If I put that stark white on there, that would really be an issue for me. I don't know why. Okay, put that back, put that back. Okay, we're ready to assemble. Now, this is going to be glued in here, just even. Centered evenly in here. So I know that my words for the inside are going right here. So I'm gonna, before I glue it in, I like to stamp. If I don't do it right, I can always start over. So this is a nice verse, because on the front it says, "With all my heart," and this one says, "I thank you for all the kindness in yours." So cute. So here's this one. Ink that up with the memento. And I'm just going to put it right here in the center. Hopefully I have it straight. And then, of course, we needed flowers inside. So here's a different set of flowers for the inside. There. And then they even have these tiny little sprigs of flowers. So I thought, at first I had it just that one, and then I thought, no, I kind of like the flowers along the bottom. So sorry, I'm going across the screen here on you. I should have this over on the other side. So I went across 3 times just to fill that in. Okay. And I can go ahead and color these before I glue, and then we'll do all the major assembly. How's that sound? So this I colored in with the mango. No, I used the dark So Saffron on these little daisies. I'm just going to use the paintbrush end right now because I want to go fast. I feel like I'm keeping you guys. There we go. And then that's all I did on that one. And then I used the mango. This is my favorite, the dark mango for the centers. I love the dark mango. So in the new catalog, I know there's all kinds of things flying like, oh no, they don't, the blends are going out. They're not going out. The nice thing is almost everybody purchases the blends together. You know, they come as in a light and a dark. And most people do because on larger projects, you're going to use both colors because you're going to do some shading, which makes it's so easy to do the shading. Thank you to the blends that make it look like sometimes I know what I'm doing. And I'm trying to get all these little flowers. So that's how they're going to be sold. They're not going to be sold individually anymore. They're going to be sold as a pair. You'll get the light and the dark. The price is the same. So you don't have to worry about that either. So here we go. I'm going to use my dark shaded spruce. Color in the leaves here and there. It's just sort of a line drawing, so pretty much there's no right or wrong. You're just sort of doing it. Here, we'll put some leaves up here, and then I'm going to paint those blue. My little, I thought they maybe looked like, what is that? Not lilacs. English, no. What are the blue ones that, I can't think now. I used to know some of this stuff. Now that I don't go outside, I guess I erased it. Heather? Is that what it's called? There. Okay. Just a little bit of that here and there. Okay. And then our dark blue, I used the dark balmy blue, again, to bring in that color that I used on the card base. I like to always sort of, you know, bring all the colors together here. So that one has the blue. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and glue this in. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to run my glue right around the outside here. Just like that. There. And then I'm going to just center it over this pretty spot. I'm going to center it in here. Like that. Okay. Give that a good press. Okay, there we go. This is going to close. Now, what's wrong with that picture? We're going to take this piece and it's going to fit where these little notches are. It's going to fit right in there. Ta-da, like that. So I'm going to put my glue just here on this folded portion. And that's going to hold that in place. There we go. Okay. So at the bottom I cut off the notch. I'm just fitting that in. There. Is my little heart crooked? Come on, go straight. Okay. Ta-da! You know what? I did do that crooked. I am so sorry. I'll send you the original, not this one. I'll keep this one as my sample. Oh, lordy, lordy. Okay, let's see. That's what happens when I talk too much and stamp. That is so crooked. So sorry. That's not the one you'll get in the mail. So comment on this. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, how things went, what you want to see, and I would be happy to send you the card with the straight verse. Okay, so these are going to go on the sides, partway covering the opening. and I decided I wanted to bump those up. So I put my little mini dimensionals on the outside of them. Okay, I put 3 along this outside edge. 1, 2, I guess I always am working over my piece, am I not? There. And then 3 for this edge, for this one. There we go. And that'll hold it on well enough. I wanted it to kind of go over that top. All right. So here are my little covers I'm going to peel off. There we go. And then I'm going to hold this in place. And right here, just going to put my delphiniums in place. Look at how it just kind of starts coming together. It all looked a little bit stark and a little bit plain, and then it just kind of, I like how it just sort of starts getting that garden going together. Now my little cat, I decided I would put him right by the flowers, so he was kind of hiding in the flowers a little bit. There we go. So I'm just gluing him on the edge that's going to go with the flowers, because otherwise I will glue the card shut, and we don't want to do that. So there we go. Now I'm going to go with my Wink of Stella before I forget. Lisa, this is for you. Lisa would tell the girls, if in doubt, wink it out. She loves Wink of Stella. She was my big Wink of Stella pusher. Every card had Wink of Stella on it, because just that little bit of shine and glimmer. When you move the card, you see it a lot. I'll show you when I move it. And it just kind of adds a nice little touch. Just one extra little thing. So we'll go in here, give these guys a little wink. There we go. There we go. We're just kind of blobbing it on here, back and forth a little bit. And on my, is it lavender? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, lavender? Is that what those look like? Kind of Russian lavender? Something. There we go. Okay, so this is how I had it. And it was missing something up here besides the words being crooked. It was missing something up here. So I went with this crinkle ribbon. So I made a little bow, and I made the tails kind of long. I have something stuck to me. There we go. Okay, and then I used my glue dots. Put a little glue dot on there. Okay, and I just framed this in softly. So here's that. I crinkled up my glue dots because I didn't want them whole, you know, a big hunk and glue dot on there, and I didn't want them showing. So then I just crinkled my ribbon a little bit. I'm going to bring that one around here, because I want it to frame my garden opening, the gate opening here. So that's how I did that. Let's see here. Kind of crinkled it up a little. I didn't want it nice and smooth. I wanted that dimension in it. So here we go. Ta-da. And that one can go right behind that flower. There. There. I should probably cut that edge off just a little bit. I'm going to take my big scissors here. This tail was a little longer than the other tail. I'm going to chop that off. Watch me take the flower out. No, I won't. I promise. There. That makes me better. That makes me feel better. Okay, so here's our card. The garden gate. So it's going to open like this, like this. Oh, isn't that pretty? Thank you, Connie Stewart, for the inspiration. This was a great fold and pretty easy. You know, you could do different things, but I thought it was a nice thing to use with this. So, share my video, comment on my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you could get this card where I have the words straight. Okay, I won't send you this one. I'll send you this one. I have a whole bunch of cards that are going out in the mail today. I have to go to the post office after this. So that is the card we made. This is my first card with this set. So simple and so pretty. I made a little gray cat. It has this little bird. I made it into a robin. It was spring. And so, and the inside, doesn't that look welcoming? I thought it was sort of fun. I colored this all in with my blends, but then I also took the light balmy blue and I went all around like one side so that it was shadowing on the back side. I was pretending my sun was over here and shadowing. So let me hold this up and see. Can you see that little bit of blue in there where I kind of went all along these edges and just shadowed it a little bit. So that was what I did. So on Friday, I will be back and I will show you some more cards with this because there's so many things you can do with this. It's so pretty. And I want to share it with you. So there we go. There's my cards. There's my 2. We'll have many more on Friday, I promise. I'm going to turn the camera around. This is the one I wish I would have like, okay, now take a shot. When I do my videos, they always do a little thumbnail thing, and so I try to get the best one, but a lot of times, I don't know, they're not, it's kind of, they're like odd shots. But let's try, maybe they'll get that one. Thank you, Chris. Let me just turn this around. Oh, Linda. Oh, you like the close-up. Good. And Marie, hello. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you like the cards. Yeah, so I see close. Yeah, you can see the detail on them. They're really a detailed set. And yet it's not hard to color because they're so tiny. So you saw how fast that went. It's not bad. What did we do? Oh, 42 minutes. I talked a lot. You don't necessarily have to do that, but pretty much for stamping we do. So, all right, I am all set. I hope everybody is staying safe. I hope you enjoyed the walk in Grace's garden. We'll walk some more on Friday. No matter what the weather, inside it's always nice. I have my little heater here when it's not nice. I have my Diet Coke. I'm all set. I will work on this for you. Share my video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's pretty exciting. I think we're up to 87. Woohoo! And comment. Let me know what you think. If there's something you want to, if something you want to see, just give me a holler out. I would be happy to accommodate you. So thank you so much for joining me. Check it out on Stamping Journey. I will have the dimensions and the ingredients. You can always watch the video to see how I put it together and how I cut it out. And I think that's it. Ta-da, we're all done. Thank you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.